With the decision approaching on the extension of the Bush-era tax cuts, we discussed in our recent video entitled The Mattress Myth how tax cuts ultimately increase, not decrease, revenues to the government, unless you believe people actually stick the money they got from tax cuts into their mattresses. Now, let's further consider how the money in question would be spent by you as opposed to how it would be spent by the government. Safe to say that you think carefully about how you spend or invest your own money. When you buy a house, a car, even groceries, you carefully calculate how much you can save. You shop for bargains, and you only buy things you really need or want. But the government spends your money freely without any real analysis of whether it'll be spent efficiently, and you know that a lot of it is spent on things you really don't need or want. Whoever ultimately receives your money from the government looks above all else for ways to spend it all in the same fiscal year so they can go back the next year and ask for more. That's how institutional budgets work, and it's not exactly a formula for fiscal discipline and prudence. In addition, while you will try to save some of your money, most often between 5 and 10% of it, the government will generally swallow up that same 5 to 10% as administrative overhead, which disappears into a faceless and unaccountable bureaucracy. You can also look at this like the difference between owners and renters. Owners take care of their property. Renters don't, because the property belongs to someone else. Any way you cut it, the government is inherently wasteful and spends hundreds of billions on failed, bankrupt, or unpopular programs. America's founders understood this, and that's why they assigned limited and strictly enumerated powers to the federal government in the Constitution. The fact that the federal government has far exceeded its constitutional authority is one of the central issues of our time. So here's what you need to do, no matter how much money you make. Contact your congressman and senator. You can do it directly right from the home page of our website here. And tell them to extend current tax rates no matter how much you make. Because sure as the sun rises in the east, you will spend that money far more wisely than them.